All right, beautiful Saturday evening. I'm going to animate this little dragon here. This design is, you can see this design is not, was not done in motion. It's just a character standing there. So as I'm thinking about what I'm going to do, I don't think I'm going to have him running. I don't think I'm going to have him jumping. I think I'm going to have him go one foot to the other, kind of like he's dancing. And to try and get some perspective in there, I'm going to be simplifying the design for sure. Looking at all those lines on the stomach, I don't want to be having all those bumps on there. That's going to be, that's not going to happen in 2 hours going straight to clean. I got to be efficient with this. Same with the tail. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the perspective on the tail spikes going left to right there. Yeah, it's a fun design. I like all the spikes on the toes there. I'm going to try and keep some interesting shapes there. Arms are pretty short. The other arm isn't showing, but I imagine at some point when he's going over from one side to the other, it'll be showing. Head perspective will be changing a lot, I imagine. Probably see the underside of the 1 foot. Yeah, lots of opportunity for shape change here. I don't expect that it's going to be terribly complicated. Not a ton of broad action moving around, taking up a lot of space because he's not doing any kind of running, but maybe that'll change when I get in there. We'll see. All right, time to get into it. Here we go, cycle 15. All right. Well, 2 hours, 40 minutes. I was starting to run out of time or starting to fall behind at about the fourth drawing, and I realized this design was going to take longer. It was more complicated than some of my other designs. The spikes being a distance apart made it more complicated. The perspective on the tail made it more complicated. The lines on the stomach, which I'd done in the past, were made more complicated because they go up underneath the chin and the perspective changes. Also, the perspective on the head, that took me longer. So, but yeah, when I got into it, I just started thinking, you know what, I'm going to spend more time on this. That's okay, this goes over 2 hours. This one, I need it to go that extra time. I need to spend the extra time on it to get it to where I want it to be. Overall, happy with it though. The arm, the near arm is working well. The far arm I added in later on. I wasn't sure if I was going to need that or not, and it was complicated, an extra complication. I had enough to think about, so I did that on a separate polish pass. Really happy with the chin beard on the dragon. I like how that worked out, and how when the dragon's chin comes up, we get that nice perspective change there. The nose comes in front of the eyes. The face morphs a little bit, but for the most part, it stayed pretty much on model. The ears, the horns, yeah, the near arm working out well. I'm happy with that. Yeah, the two legs stepping back and forth, and the tail. I got that first try. I sometimes when I'm doing a cycle with any kind of tail or any kind of arm movement, I have to really revisit it later. But this worked out well. I was just thinking really clearly about that wave motion and how I was going to make that work over 24 frames with 12 drawings. Yeah, this is a fun little one. It's I hadn't done an in-place dance yet, and I think it's gonna work well with the music. The music is all based on 12 frame beats. So boom, 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 just like the dragon animation. And it's gonna work well with the music. I think it's gonna go nicely. And yeah, the trace back on the feet that worked nicely too. I was just keeping those feet in place for the most part. There's a little bit of a squash and stretch on them, but just keeping it so it looks alive. It's worked out nicely. Yeah, it's a good little piece. So another addition. This was cycle 15. That means I've only got 55 to go. Wow, I'm making good progress here. Yeah, I'm happy with those eyes too. I started out drawing the pupils outside of the main part of the eye, and I didn't follow through on that too much, but it's got some nice volume to it, some nice shapes there. I like how his stomach is going as well. It's a little bit of bloop, 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 little bit of bounciness there, a little bit of volume changing. For the most part, the volumes are working out well. And yeah, last on those spikes, drawing them all a distance apart made it a lot more complicated than just going tick, 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 tick. But it paid off. It gives a nice sense of depth, I think, to the tail. All right, thanks for checking it out. See you next time.